welcome back to another video. I'm going to be continuing the series of my future elections. This time we're going to be doing part 3, which is 2064 through 2080. And things are really starting to get different from the current electoral map. I mean, we see Tennessee and Louisiana and South Carolina, currently very Republican states, and Montana and Utah even now being tilt Republican and even lean Democratic. And we're seeing Kansas as likely D, but then we're also seeing Illinois as tilt Democrat, and the northeastern blue wall is kind of fading away. We're seeing Democrats make a lot of inroads in the South. And I just think that overall, the electoral map in the future is going to be a lot different than our current map, especially like you're seeing Georgia at 20 electoral votes as a safe Democratic state, where right now it's lean D 16 electoral votes, or Texas safe Democrat at 52 electoral votes, even more than California at this point. But anyway, let's get into it. 2064. I already did the census in the previous video, so let's not worry about that. For flips, I actually think there's going to be 2 Democratic flips and 0 Republican flips. Mississippi and Tennessee flipping blue, finally, as this series has been leading up to. I mean, we saw Mississippi become likely back in 2024 and 2028. My bad. I just think that by 2064 they will flip blue. Oh, actually, Nebraska's first district should become tilt Democrat. Louisiana will probably narrowly stay red for this election. But after that, yeah. For shifts, I think that South Carolina will move up to likely, Rhode Island down to lean, California down to lean, and Montana up to likely. And then for Republican shifts, Michigan to safe, Oklahoma to lean. Oh, actually, Maine at large flips red. The second district is just getting way too red now for Democrats to really keep up in the first district. So yeah, I think that this is going to be the 2064 electoral map. Now for 2068, we've got some dramatic changes. Louisiana, tilt Democrat. Illinois, tilt Republican. Minnesota finally breaking the Democratic voting streak and voting Republican by a tilt margin. Nebraska at large down to tilt Republican. And Utah up to likely. Alaska up to likely. New Jersey and Connecticut down to tilt Democrat. Maryland down to likely D. And, yeah, I think that's it. 2072, but first we gotta do the census. Florida plus 3, I think, is good. Texas plus 4. Now to find 7 electoral votes to remove, and those are pretty obvious where: New York, New Jersey, Kentucky, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and California 2. I think we'll see an increase in Colorado's electoral presence up to 12. Same with Kansas. And in exchange, -1 in Missouri. And probably Maryland, actually. North Carolina probably +1 in exchange for Ohio. Georgia probably +1 in exchange for 1 in... I'm debating between Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, and Iowa. I think I'm going to go Indiana. And Utah +1 for Michigan -1. And that's it. So let's refill the map. Wait a minute. Why can't I do this? Missouri. And that's it for 2068. Now you'll notice, that's it for the census. Now something you'll probably notice is Florida has stayed lean Republican throughout the entire video. That is intentional due to, just a lot of overall... In Florida, southern Florida is getting redder, but northern Florida and middle Florida is getting bluer. But southern Florida is also growing the fastest. And actually, I kind of want to talk about this a little bit more in a future video. So let's just make sure this is 538. It appears to be... Yes, it is. So... Now let's move on to 2072. I actually have quite a few changes here. Mississippi and Tennessee up to lean. Delaware down to tilty. Illinois lean Republican. Kansas safe Democrat. South Carolina safe Democrat. And here's a flip. Nebraska at large is going to become Democratic. And this actually will help Democrats in the Senate. Actually, I kind of want to check the Senate right now. 2, 6. I'll do that later, whatever. I'll look at the map towards the end, and anything tilt would be one of each. So, whatever. I'll worry about it later. Now for... actually, that's it for 2072. For 2076, we've got some more changes to be made. I think Alabama down to lean. Oklahoma down to tilt. Idaho down to lean. New Jersey down New Jersey flips, Connecticut flips, Delaware flips, Rhode Island does say lean Democratic. And you notice that all of these states, except for New Hampshire and Maine at large, were safe Democrat in 2020. And now you'll see that now you'll see that Vermont and Massachusetts are the only two northeastern states that are solid blue at this point. And this is just because Massachusetts and Vermont are really the only two that aren't trending Republican. Well, of course, New Hampshire, but New Hampshire, it was never safety. I think New Hampshire is always just going to be a Democratic winning swing state. So, yeah, that's 2076. For 2080, this is a big one. We're going to have, well, not really a big one. There's no major flips. In fact, let's see, are there any flips at all even? Oh, yes, Oklahoma, tilt Democrat. Honestly, it might even be safe Democrat by now, I'm not sure. I'm sure that since people are moving out of Oklahoma, though, a lot of the young voters probably won't remain in Oklahoma, which is why it'll stay a tilt D state rather than just becoming solid blue by this point. Because remember, Democrats did win the young vote in Oklahoma by over 15 points in 2020. So for our next state, Louisiana moves up to lean, Rhode Island down to tilt, New York down to lean, and I think that's it for 2080. Actually, you know what? We're moving Florida down to tilt. This is a bold projection to make, but I think that Florida will narrowly tilt Republican instead of lean Republican, and here's why. The northern Florida areas and some of the, besides southern Florida, of course Miami-Dade County and a couple of these southern Florida counties are not going to stay with the Democrats, but states like Duval County, or counties like Duval County and a couple others up in the central and northern parts of Florida, or the Tallahassee areas, the Jacksonville areas, or even Tampa and Orlando areas are going to shift heavily over to the Democratic Party, and despite Democrats losing heavily Democrats losing badly in Miami-Dade, or just southern Florida in general, I just think Democrats are going to catch up to those losses through the northern half, and of course there's going to be Democrats moving into the southern half of Florida as well. Florida is a Republican-leaning swing state and will be for a long time, but I do think that this is going to be changing around the 8th. So, to explain some of my projections, I think that yes, Montana, Utah are going to be likely and probably even safe. I think that Oklahoma will be very close, or it's finally going to go blue after being one of the most Republican states in the nation. And I think that Democrats actually will not have a representative majority in Oklahoma. In fact, I don't even know if they'll get 2 seats. Probably just keep one. I mean, redistricting will obviously change some things. I think there will be a representative majority for Democrats in other states, though, like these 4 in Tennessee even. I'm sorry about the Discord ping. Idaho, I mean, people are moving to Idaho so quickly. It's just going to get bluer over time, as well as gain more electoral votes. And Kansas being safe. I mean, look, Kansas was the average state shifted 2 point something points in from 2016 to 2020. Kansas shifted 6. So, or 2 points bluer. Kansas shifted 6 points bluer and even became a likely margin. It's just going to continue to get bluer. The suburbs are swinging to the left. And remember, this is if there's average candidates for both political parties. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Again, link to music will be in the description. And I will see you all next time. Consider hitting the subscribe button because the next one will be 2084 to 2100. And those elections are going to be very interesting. Actually, I'm going to make one change. Tennessee likely. That's it for changes. And so, thank you for watching. Goodbye.